Good afternoon, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people. Today is August 10th, 2020. And I want to share with you a 77-year timeline that puts together all of the key signs and moments within the timeline that give us understanding of the beginning, of the end, of the middle, and of the rapture, and of the reign of the Antichrist. Putting all of these pieces one step at a time in the simplest timeline possible. Now, everything begins at the rebirth of Israel. There is no doubt that the end timeline of the fig tree generation, that this generation shall not pass, is the birth of Israel. When you see the fig tree budding, the rebirth of Israel, 1948. This was a 70-year timeline that we have been searching for understanding based on 70 years. We were watching 2017, 2018, and once we hit 2019, there was confusion about where this was all going. But it's actually perfectly clear. And what we have is we have the prophecy of Daniel, which is 70 weeks are determined. Daniel chapter 9, 70 weeks are determined from the order to restore Jerusalem. 70 weeks. Weeks is a representation of Pentecost, which is the Feast of Weeks. 70 feasts of weeks. 70 weeks are determined. And so what we have is we have from 1948 to 2017, on June 4th, 2017, we have the 70th Pentecost. Okay, this is the 70-year anniversary, 70th Pentecost of the rebirth of Israel, since the rebirth of Israel, 1948 to June 4th, 2017. Now, this also happens to be the 50-year anniversary from the retaking of Jerusalem, the restoration of Jerusalem on June 5th, 1967, as the Six-Day War began. This marks the beginning of a 50-year countdown that also brings us 50 years to the same day between June 4th and June 5th, 2017. It's the year of Jubilee, 50th anniversary for the rebirth of the retaking of Jerusalem. So we have the order to restore Jerusalem, 1948. We have the retaking of Jerusalem, 1967. And on June 4th, 2017, then we have a double confirmation of the 70 and the 50. Okay. Now, here is our marker for the beginning days of tribulation. The marker for the beginning days of tribulation. And we have the final 7 years, which takes us from June 4th, 2017 to June 4th, 2024, which on the Hebrew calendar, okay, we have the beginning day is Pentecost, and the end day is the 27th day of the second month. And this is exactly as written in Genesis 8:14. The flood ended on the 27th day of the second month. 27th of Iyar. The 27th day of the second month was the end of the flood. So we have a confirmation within this timeline, not only on the Gregorian calendar, okay, June 4th, 2017 to June 4th, 2024. Also on the Hebrew calendar, this lines up with the end of the flood. Now we remember, if we look at in the Greek, the word watch in the Greek is Strong's Greek 1127. Okay, Strong's Greek 1127. And that is Gregorio. Okay, for us to be able to receive understanding from the Hebrew calendar, but also confirmed within the Gregorian calendar, this is part of the reason why the Greek word for watch, 1127, is Gregorian. Okay, now we have two key markers in the middle of this timeline. Exactly in the middle of this timeline, we have two key markers. One is the solar eclipse on December 14th, which is Hanukkah. Okay, this is Hanukkah. So we have here a confirmation within the Hebrew calendar of a feast day, midweek Hanukkah, a total solar eclipse. From June 4th, 2017, we have 1290 days. Okay, and this would take us to the rapture of the church on Hanukkah. And on December 21st, 2020, we have the Jupiter and Saturn conjunction, which is the telling of the war in heaven between the man-child Jupiter and Saturn, the red dragon, Saturn being the one depicted as the one who devours the children. This is the beginning of the reign of the Antichrist. And according to the Word of God, confirmed 6 different times. Okay, 6 different times. As I shared in my previous videos, the 3.5 year reign of the Antichrist is confirmed in these passages. On the bottom line of this graphic, Revelation 11, 1 through 2, Daniel 7:25, Daniel 12:17, Daniel 12:7, Revelation 12:6, Revelation 12:14, and Revelation 13:5. 6 passages confirm the reign of the Antichrist as 3.5 years, 1260 days, 42 months, times, and half a time. So we have found the 1260-day reign of the Antichrist, which begins 7 days after the rapture. We have a 7-day time period in here. Okay, we have 1290 days taking us to the rapture of the church, and then after the chaos that is going to ensue after the rapture of the church, there will arise the need for a world leader, a Messiah, an Antichrist figure to come and bring order to the chaos. And we have a 7-day window here for the Antichrist to rise on December 21st. And the sign of the rise of the Antichrist is right here, the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. This is the sign of the rise of the Antichrist. And we have 1260 days exactly that takes us to the end of a 7-year timeline. Okay. So we have, within this, we have a 70-year timeline, 70 years to Pentecost, June 4th, 2017. The same marker is our 50-year anniversary from 1967, the Six-Day War. This is the same marker, okay? The 70 years and the 50 years bring us to the same marker. Okay? And this is what I had not seen, and this is what most people have not seen, okay? And as we continue to search, and continue to wait, and continue to pray, the Lord continues to reveal more and more and more to us. And so what we see then is we have a 70-year timeline and a 50-year timeline that culminate on June 4th, 2017, and June 4th, 2017 to June 4th, 2024 brings us to the understanding of the 1290 days, the first half of the tribulation, to Hanukkah of 2020, December 14th, 2020, and we have the 1260-day reign of the Antichrist. Okay? Because as we know, when the rapture of the church happens, the Antichrist is going to rise. That's why everything right now is focusing on the vaccines, by December. Okay? This is the rise of the Antichrist. It's the rise of the control of the mark of the beast. It's the rise of the beast system. It's the arrival of, if you do not have his name or number, you will not buy or sell. And this is the beginning of the persecution and the great tribulation. The 7-year tribulation is divided in 3.5 years of tribulation and 3.5 years of great tribulation. And this 7-year timeline shows this from start to the middle. We have our sign for rapture on December 14th, 2020. On Hanukkah, we have the sign of the beginning of the reign of the Antichrist, 1,260 days, and we have a 7-day window between the rapture and the rise of the Antichrist. And this brings us to a 70-year timeline, a 50-year timeline, plus a 7-year timeline. Okay? So we have 70 plus 7 years. Okay? And the end of the flood, the 27th day of the second month, June 4th, 2024. The other sign that points us to December 14th are the two great American eclipses between August 21st, 2017 and April 8th, 2024. These are also all confirmed within the Hebrew calendar, because this is the beginning of 40 days of repentance, August 21st, Elul 1, 2017, going 1,211 days, brings us to December 14th, 2020, another great American eclipse over Argentina. See, the thing about the 3 American eclipses is that they're all total solar eclipses, and they're all over the Americas. We have 2 over North America. The first and the last are over North America, and we have the middle eclipse is over South America. All 3 of these are great American eclipses. Okay? And both of the great American eclipses pointing to the middle date also points us to December 14th, 2020. Okay. The signs are very, very clear that the 70 weeks of Israel led us to June 4th, 2017. The very important confirmation within this is that the 50-year anniversary from the retaking of Jerusalem in 1967 is also the same day. Okay, so this is key in our understanding of how we can see our end time timeline taking shape. Okay, and what we have is we have 3.5 years of tribulation that began on June 4th, 2017, taking us 1,290 days to December 14th, 2020. Okay, so I'm getting to the absolute clarity that this is for sure and certainly the timing of the rapture of the church. This is confirmed by the 7 years of tribulation divided by 1,290 and 1,260 days. And with the signs of the rapture on Hanukkah and the rise of the Antichrist at the Jupiter-Saturn Great Conjunction, December 21st, 2020. These signs are so perfect. This sign here is perfect. From the Great American Eclipses, the exact middle point leads us to the same day of the 1,290 days from June 4th, 2017 to December 14th, 2020. Leads us to the same day. Okay? So, this is the reason why God has sent a prophet in these end times to share his dreams about preparing for September, October, and November, when chaos is going to overtake the world. Chaos is going to overtake the world, especially starting in November. Okay? And everything here looks to December. Okay? So I'm very privileged to be able to share all of this information with you. Okay? I've gone over all of these details in previous videos. I'm trying to share in different ways, through different avenues, through different timelines and understandings, but I'm trying to keep everything as simple as I can. This is one timeline, one line of information. 1948, 1967, if we get the 70th and the 50th together, this lines up here with our last 7 years. We've got our mid tribulation rapture sign. We've got our mid tribulation sign of the beginning of the reign of Antichrist. We have a 7-day warning, as in the days of Noah, from the rapture to the rise of the Antichrist. For those who didn't know what was happening here, well, they're surely going to know what's happening here. On December 21st, the Antichrist has risen to power, and the reign of the Antichrist is going to begin. Okay? And this is as clear as I'm able to make it at this point, and I just wanted to share this with you. I pray you guys are all blessed. All I can say is the Lord called me on midweek Hanukkah, December 12th, 2012. And this is the 8-year anniversary of midweek Hanukkah. December 14th, 2020 is the exact same day on the Hebrew calendar as my sign, December 12th, 2012. It's midweek Hanukkah. And this is the 8-year anniversary of my sign in the sun. And my call to share with you end-time revelations about Obama, the Antichrist, and the times of tribulation, to bring forth understanding of timelines and days, the Hebrew calendar, trying to bring it all into perspective. But this is by far the most concrete, important revelation that the Lord has given me. And this is all coming to fruition on the 8-year anniversary of my sign on December 12th, 2012. 12, 12, 12. I pray you guys are blessed. This is Steve Fletcher, 222, a trumpet for my people, and the sign of his coming revealed.